Hey guys, so I've had a few people leave comments on videos asking me to do videos on all the bikes that I own. So that's what I'm going to do over the next few days. I'm going to make a video every day showing my collection of bikes. So first off, what I'm going to show you here is my Cannondale F4000sl. I believe this was a 2006 model. It was the last year that Cannondale's top of the line hardtails were aluminum. The year after this, they went to carbon fiber. I believe the first generation was called the Taurine. So a little backstory. Actually, before this bike, what I had was the Cannondale F4000sl. It was the highest end model in the line that still used the integrated head shock with 80 mils of travel and the lockout lever on top. It was about an XT level bike, which I quite like the bike. But over the winter, I think it was winter 2006, 2007, don't really remember. My place got broken into and that bike was stolen, and it was the middle of the winter, so I wasn't in any particular rush to replace it at the time. So I looked for a little while, and my dealer basically said that I could get an F4000sl, which would have been, you know, the top of the line cross-country hardtail at the time. He could get it to me for a very, very reasonable price, kind of clearance pricing, because they were shifting to carbon fiber, so they were looking to unload them. So I got a top of the line bike for what I thought was a very, very reasonable price. So in 2006, I believe that was the first year that SRAM XO came out. So it was the new top of the line group that they had designed to compete with Shimano XTR. So this bike is basically mostly SRAM XO. So SRAM XO on the rear derailleur, SRAM XO shifters, but they've gone to a XTR front derailleur. I'm not 100% sure why, but that is the case. So beautiful shifting system, and I mean, this is really nice. I mean, the bottom lever on here is metal. It's beautifully clamped on. I think one of the design features of these shifters and the design features that SRAM was pushing with the XO, I don't know if it's still the case, and if it is with the XX stuff, pretty much everything is completely rebuildable. The shifters are completely rebuildable. So theoretically, as long as they keep making the parts, you can just keep rebuilding the stuff instead of having to buy completely new shifters. You can just buy the pieces that you need to replace. Brake wise, it has the Magura Marta SLs with the carbon fiber lever. So I do believe at the time it was the lightest disc brake system on the market. And then it uses the Cannondale SI crankset. So at the time, you know, pretty much the lightest crankset you could buy. It's still a super light crankset. So this is mid 2000s, so it is a triple. The 2x hadn't taken over yet. The wheel set I currently have on this is not the stock wheel set. So these are a 27.5 650B. This was originally a 26-inch bike. I no longer off-road mountain bike with this. It's now like an urban assault bicycle. It's fun, it's fast. You know, you can ride over most things and obstacles without having to slow down. So I asked my dealer to build up a 27.5 wheel set for me to try a different wheel size, because it's mostly being used on pavement and paved bike paths, potentially looking for better higher rolling speed, so basically faster than the 26-inch wheels, which I do still have them. They're behind the bike, as you can see, leaning against the wall. I'll show you those after. But yeah, I will say with the stock wheels and a lightweight set of tires, this was a light bike, and I'd say it's still considered a light bike. It was between 20 and 21 pounds, completely stock. I mean, at the time, 2006, 2007, that was quite light. And the other thing, it only had a few carbon fiber parts. I mean, basically the seat post is carbon fiber, the handlebars are carbon fiber, the stanchion legs on the fork are carbon fiber. Actually, that's another thing we could talk about. So it's the lefty speed carbon, so top of the line for the time. It didn't use a lockout. It uses the Fox Terralogic valve, which is basically a dial that you can adjust to adjust the actual bump force that it takes to activate the travel. So you could kind of almost lock it out, but if you hit something hard enough, it would activate the travel, which is actually pretty cool. It almost works perfectly. Like if I'm out of the saddle, sprinting out of the saddle, the fork doesn't move, but if I was to hit a pothole, it would activate the travel to absorb that pothole. So it worked quite well. Yeah, so I was talking about the wheel set here. So we've gone to a 27.5 wheel set on here. So there's stands, no tubes, ZTR crest rims with DT Swiss 240 hubs. So a very nice set of wheels. I didn't go the lightweight route. Basically, these are 32 spoke front and rear. I went for durability, so they could definitely be lighter if I had gone for lower spoke counts. But I did start having problems with the stock Mavic wheels, especially the rear wheel. I've gone through 2 rims now on those, and finding a replacement rim now for those is almost impossible. You can see they don't match. I have a silver in the front and a black in the rear. It was the only one they could find. Apparently it was shipped over from France to whoever deals with Mavic here in Canada. I think it's Outdoor Gear. So apparently they tell me I was lucky to even get a replacement rim for it. I do still occasionally put those wheels on because they are quite a bit lighter than the wheels that I have on here, and they're so snappy. The acceleration is so snappy. I'm not interested in riding off-road with 26-inch wheels, but gravel roads and riding around town, those are actually still a super fun wheel set because they accelerate so quickly. Yeah, so what I use this bike for now, like I had said, it's basically an urban assault. I kind of call it a 1 hour, 2 hour bike. I'll do some riding on the edge of town on some of the gravel roads. It only has one water bottle mount, so I can really only carry one large bottle, which is about 2 hours of fluid, especially if you're riding hard. So yeah, I still really like this bike. It's verging on almost being 10 years old, but it's still a really nice bike. Being that it was top of the line at the time, it's still a beautiful machine. Yeah, so that's a video about my 2006 Cannondale F4000sl, I believe is the model name on this one. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.